Alrighty, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. A while back, I previewed these way back in March. When this video drops, it's probably going to be early June. But just did a twofer of two Bolin's basic push mowers, comparing the classic engine versus the new overhead valve engine. Got two trades, and we fixed both of them in that video. Mostly just carb / fuel related stuff. Well, I've got a threefer here for y'all today, and we're going to fix all three of these. One of them's actually already fixed. I got these yesterday, and it's kind of late, and I just wanted to see if I can get them running. The first, we'll start with the Bolins down here. I got in on trade for a Hyper Tough push mower, like I got all three of these. It's not priming at this point. They all have these classic engines. It's going to need a primer bulb most likely, because I can see cracks and such in it. Probably going to need a primer bulb. It's got this little weird wire coat hanger going on with it. It's just a bruised and abused basic push mower. Oh, it's got a gator blade on it. How about that? I can sharpen that gator blade and probably be alright. That's nice. So we got that going on. All of them have compression. And this one's probably just going to be I didn't want to do a video on all three of these, because all of them are going to be like carb diaphragm, oil change, blade sharpen, boring stuff. And there's no need for me to do three of the same videos. I'm just going to compile them all three in one here. We'll skip this one for a second. This is a Rally 20-inch. I got these two together on a trade for one Hyper Tough, and obviously cash with it. Both of them, when they came in, and I did this off camera because I just had a really, I wanted to try really quick to see if I can get them running last night. Both of them had pull rope issues, and let me see if I can show you all the pull ropes from both of them. So from the Murray, the guy tried to replace it himself, and he ended up unwinding the return spring. I don't do those. I don't have enough time or patience to attempt doing those. The pull rope from the Rally, they're both 3.5 horse classics. It's almost like it's wound the wrong way, which is weird, because you pull it and it wants to rewind the opposite direction that it needs to wind up, which is really strange. Because it's supposed to go, it winds the opposite direction. I couldn't get it right last night. So what I did, and I don't know if I can show y'all, these classic engines have like an extra indent in them from the way that the throttle setup is a little bit different than, say, your newer 450, 500 series classic type Briggs engine. So on the Rally, what I had to do is I got this Craftsman shroud. I just threw it on there. It's red, matches. I actually had to do a little bit of fabrication, and I don't know if I can grab a screwdriver for y'all and show you the fabrication that I had to do. All I used is like metal scissors, like heavy duty scissors, to get them. No, I didn't need them because it had the bolt off already. But as you can see, I used the heavy duty scissors, and I cut away some of this. I probably didn't need to cut away this portion of it, but I cut away this bottom portion so that this butterfly, or not the butterfly, but the linkage to the air filter or the flywheel would work. New air filter in this one, so I ain't gonna even change the air filter. Both of them prime. This one's got some water in the tank, so we'll have to, this will be drain the tank, put a diaphragm in it. Primer bulb is okay. It's still priming. Again, we're talking about $40 to $50 mowers here. It's kind of what you can do to get them back going again reliably. This one will start on starting fluid. It won't start on the gas that's in there. I think it's been sitting a while. 20-inch blade's in good shape. Doesn't even need to be sharpened. It doesn't even need to be sharpened, guys. So that's an even better thing. Oil change and carb diaphragm on this one, most likely. Blade sharpen, oil change, carb diaphragm on this one. This one runs. And I'll show you that it runs here in a second. This is a 20-inch Murray. Let's look at the blade. Blade's pretty dull on it. I got gas coming out of the gas cap. That's exciting. That's what it's supposed to do. It means it's got like a full tank. It's got a slap full tank of gas in it. He says this was running, and then the pull rope broke on him. He tried to fix the pull rope, and that's when he unwound the spring. And when you unwind the spring, it's done. So, primer bulb. I was primed about 3 or 4 times. So I found this one, and it actually works well because this has a switch on the front, an on-off switch. It's so old that it has an on-off switch on the front. So you just put your foot on the front, pull it a couple times. Runs good. I'll clean this one up, sharpen the blade on it, obviously. And this will be a $40 mower for somebody. And I basically have about 30 minutes of time into it. Obviously, I'll wash it up a little bit. Sharpen the blade, change the oil. The oil's a little low on it. So yeah, a 3-fer. This one you'll see cleaned up. And which one do I work on first? Let's work on the rally. I think I can get that one going pretty quick. Let me get this one on the stand, and we will investigate the carb diaphragm and the gas tank. And while we're at it, let's check the oil in it. Look, the oil's even clean. You ain't even got to change the oil in it. All I got to do is figure out why it's not running. I know it's been sitting a while, so I'm sure that gasket is bad in there. But I'm tempted because it doesn't take long at all. Because there's a ton of water in that gas. I'm tempted to put fresh gas in it and just see if it cranks on it. Because it won't crank on what it's got in the tank. So, let me do a little troubleshooting. I might take the gas tank off and we'll see what we have. Okay, y'all, that little Murray 20 inch is done. I did a service on it, blade sharpen, oil change. I'll show all 3 of y'all whenever I'm done with these. Next, the rally. I can see that it's squirting water basically. So what I'm going to try first is just a simple take the gas tank off type deal. And for that, 3/8, 1/2, couple of 1/4 inch dry ratchet socket extension. 3/8 is in the front right here. ½ inch in the back. We're going to take this off, this little arm off. We just pull the gas tank out and it'll come undone from the intake tube like so. Just pull it out like that. Your gas tank is out. I'm going to go drain the gas. because the thing's priming. I can see that it's water though, or really bad gas. So I'm just simply gonna pour the tank out, put a little of fresh gas in it, give it a couple pulls and see if it works. If not, I mean, you see how long it took. It took less than 2 minutes to take the carb out, or the carb and the gas tank assembly off. So if it don't work, we'll put a diaphragm in it. Easy enough. Alright, so I went ahead and put it all back together, and both this one and this one had basically new air filters on them, which is nice. Fresh gas. We'll see if this thing will just start it for us. Smoky, which doesn't surprise me. I think the diaphragm's gonna be good on it. That rattling you hear, this cover has got a loose point right there. I'm going to try and get a washer on it to make it so that it doesn't rattle like that. So I'll work on that. And I'll work on this pull rope here. Alright, mower number 2's running. Like I said, I'm going to secure that. It's this bolt right here. It's causing it to rattle on it because it's not secured. So I'm gonna try and put a washer or something on it, see if that'll help it out some, keep it from rattling. Alright, so mower number 2, the rally is done, apart from a cleaning. This one came in, it has brand new oil in it, and freshly sharpened blade. It's like just came out of the service bay and it never really got used. Put a lock nut and a washer right here, and that stopped the rattling of the shroud. Sorry, I have my tripod out here. Serial number, this is an Electrolux. I think it's an extension of AYP. They kind of merged with Husqvarna and all that. 12/12/05, so that mower was made in December of 2005. This sticker is off. I've got the original shrouds for both of these too. So the older Murray, it looks like, was made in 94, 940621 right there on the code. So June of 94. And let's see if this cover reflects that. Yep, 05 11026. So that's a 05 for that one. Again, they just need both pull rope mechanisms on them. And this one just basically needed fresh gas. So kind of worked. The diaphragm's not even, after it ran for a couple minutes, the diaphragm wasn't even surging or anything anymore, believe it or not. This one is going to take a little bit more work. Not terrible, I don't think. This is the Bolins. And let's check the air filter here. Yeah, air filter is, I mean, it's crusty and oily, so it's pretty much toast. We'll check that. Now, this weird clothes hanger type contraption wire, whatever they did, the thing must have not been running right or something. The way that air filter was, it wouldn't surprise me how that it wouldn't run right. So we can get that off. Luckily, it seems like it's a first for me whenever they fix a throttle like this. They didn't damage the spring or anything like that, so that's kind of nice. Another thing I gotta figure out or fix, I know what's wrong with it. Primer bulb shot on this one, so grab my trusty screwdriver that I had. Throw that wire away. Two tabs on the side, right there. We're going to fish it out. Just push in and pull back. There we go. Most primer bulbs are going to come with the little mounting tabs on them too, so if you break these coming off, it's not the end of the world. And these are suck. They are. Ooh. So now, when we fish out the primer bulb, I'm just going to pull this thing with some force because it is definitely the original primer bulb. Wow. I've never had one this difficult to get out. Yeah, got one side out. Jeez. Right out here. Wow. Aha. There was a split in it right there. So let me get another primer bulb. We'll put it in there. I'll show you how to put it in there. It's pretty easy. Again, screwdriver. probably maybe not the best method. I think they actually make like specific primer bulb remover tools from Briggs and Stratton for these. This will go in the trash too. We'll put a primer bulb in here. We'll see if it primes. If it does, we will... Oh yeah. We will most definitely have to drain the tank out of this one. I think I might have already shown you how bad the gas is. Yeah. I can get a little glimpse of it right there. It's very brown. And let's see if we can find the model number of this one. Might have already shown y'all. And I might not have. Let's see what we've got here. 110. So it's made in 2010. Made in July of 2010. July 14th of 2010. Under the first 6 digits of the code. The year, the month, the day. So it's 10/07/14. Well, let me get the primer bulb. I'll show you how to put it back in, and then y'all saw how I took the other one off. This is the exact same way. I'll take that off, and I'll show you putting it back on this time, and just so y'all know what it's like to put it back on, just instruction-wise. And then we will test it out, see if it needs a diaphragm. So I've got the new oil filter right here. I know these foam ones you're supposed to lightly oil a little bit. I barely put just a drop. I've gone back and forth on, do I oil them a little bit? Do I not? I've done both. On a mower like this, it really doesn't matter that much, because somebody's going to have this for a couple years and just throw it away, most likely. Just with the condition and stuff that it's in. We'll get to the gas tank in just a second. I don't think I've shown y'all how bad the oil is, but I am almost positive that the oil has never been changed on it. It looks like black tar. We will not run this very long at all on this oil. We will put the primer bulb in, so let me set you down again. Just primer bulb. I usually kind of like to, some of these primer bulbs come in these little housing type deals, so sometimes I can make sure that they're out of the housing or pushed in well. 2 tabs on the side there. We're just gonna, they go opposite of each other at like 90 and 270 degrees. I just take the screwdriver easily and push it in there. We have crappy fuel. As you can see, we have good primer bulb action. So let me take the gas tank off and drain out this fuel tank, and I'll rejoin you when I put the tank back on, and we'll test this thing out, see if it runs. Alright, I about got it off, but case in point, I was working here. Impact gun, either electric, battery operated, air powered, you need it. If you're working on small engines, you need it. I did it for years without having one. I don't know how I did it. Usually the little, 1/4-inch drive stuff is okay for getting this, or like your drill type setup. You almost need a 1/2-inch drive to really do what you need to do. Case in point, this bolt right here, I took a 1/2-inch ratchet to it, it wouldn't budge, and the last thing I want to do is round this bolt off, because then you lose your mounting point for the gas tank and it's all over then. So I just broke out the 1/2-inch after my little 19.2 volt Craftsman over there didn't do it. Took it right off. So just a helpful tip. Just so that you don't cause more work than you need to. I'm a testament to it. I've done it thousands of times, it seems like. Probably not thousands, but dozens. And so I'm going to take, I need 2 hands, but I'm going to take this gas tank off. And Another thing, be careful with that little arm right there too, because most of these carb butterflies and throttle governor type stuff are plastic. You don't want to break those either. So just be careful. We'll clean. I'm going to drain the gas out of this. This thing's probably going to need a diaphragm too, but we'll see. I'll put it back on just to see, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got as much of that dirt. I mean, it looked like straight up brown water that came out of this thing. So, as promised, I'm going to show you how to put it back on. We're going to just feed that linkage back into the carb. I have a feeling this one's going to surge since it had that little piece on it to kind of shove the governor to where it didn't surge up and down. That's my guess. Like I said, it only takes a couple minutes to take this back off. Fit it back onto over the intake. Make sure that your two gaskets are there like they're supposed to be. Put your two bolts back in. We'll leave the air filter off for now. Did I show you all the condition of the blade? Oh yeah, it's a gate. That's a gator blade. We'll sharpen that. Keep it on there. Let me take it off the stand, and then we will run it. All right. So number 1 and number 2 are good. Here's number 3. Let's see if this one will run. Feeling I gotta put a diaphragm in it, but hey, you never know till you try it. You hear it popping and whatnot. It's got a ton of water in it still. Once I keep cycling it a little bit, it should eventually turn on for us. So hang with me here, guys. I'm going to toy around with it a little bit more with the primer bulb start priming, which probably means that I got potentially a blockage somewhere in the carb, maybe. Maybe I don't have enough gas in it, I don't know. These are really easy motors. I guess I'm trying to cheapen out, so to speak, not having to put a excuse me, a diaphragm in it, but looking like I'm gonna have to. No biggie. We'll go ahead and break carb down. I'll take the gas tank and stuff back off, and then I'll show you how to get the carb diaphragm off, and we'll take a look inside. I'm sure it's not going to look very pretty, considering the condition of what this mower is. All right, so let's get this carb done. The number 2 screwdriver, it's just 5 screws. I would advise against using an impact for these because you're going into fine threads going in the middle. You don't want to mess any of those up. And 5, you'll see them, they're very obvious spot. They're very obvious once you get the tank off where they're at. Can't really do this on the tank or on the mower, so you gotta take it off in order to do it. Alright. 5 screws are off. You pull this. Oh yeah. So, let me show you what it looks like inside the little reservoir tank right there. A bunch of water and such. We'll clean that out with some carb cleaner. We're also going to take this diaphragm off. It appears to be good, but once you take this off, it's really not worth it. It's ripped at the back a little bit too. You gotta make sure you get all your gasket and stuff off, and that you don't lose your screws while you're at it. In more ways than one. Now this is a really easy project here. This is a really easy fix. Any general homeowner can do it. It's a wear item on these classic Briggs. So we're just emptying everything out of this little carb here. Throw this away. I'm going to clean this up with some carb cleaner and stuff. I'm also going to clean off this filter and such right here. Some of the carb kits you get come with the filter. The little cheapo carb kit that I've got does not. Again, you have your thick gasket on the top and your rubber gasket on the bottom, your little thin gasket on the bottom for the pickup. And I'll clean this area out right here with some carb spray, and we'll put it back on. So I have the carb surface clean and dry. Look under there. You see it's all clean now. So new diaphragm. Thin gasket on the bottom, thick gasket on the top. You can just set it down there like so, and like so. And these are these, and I'm going to get knocked for this. These are these cheap Chinese ones. I hadn't had an issue until I got this last batch, and this last batch has kind of just been, it's been kind of hit or miss. If I've been having an issue with them, what I'll do is I'll double up on them and that seems to work, but we'll see if this works. They like to leak around the seal, unfortunately. That's the first set of Chinese carb gaskets. I mean, you get 10 basically for the same price as if you go get one at Lowe's or a genuine Briggs, and they work for the most part. They're probably about a 50 to 75% success rate. This batch, the other batch, and I'm tightening these in like a cross pattern. It's kind of like you tighten lug nuts on a car. Again, you just try and get lawnmowers out the door here. You want to obviously make them reliable. And I've never had one come back that was not reliable. Putting one of these diaphragms on. I think if you get it right, then they're okay. But if you don't, they'll leak on you pretty much immediately. So it's not like it's gonna. It's not like it's all of a sudden leaking now. From what I can tell. So, alright, so tighten them up. Don't tighten them up too much. You don't want to round strip threads around anything off. Make sure your gaskets and your O-ring seal are still on there. Turn it around. And we'll put it back onto the mower. Okay. Put your bolts back in. This gasket holding for the air filter is starting to fall apart a little bit. I'm just going to put the remainder of it back on. That gasket's not a make or break or anything like that. It's good to have. If you don't, it might suck a little bit extra dirt in the intake, but nothing to really amount to anything. We're going to do a mode of confidence and go ahead and put this on. Okay. Let me clean up, get it off of the bench here, and we will see if we got a runner. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to sit y'all right there. Alright, I ain't done it yet. I'm gonna clean the plug, and that should do it for us. I'd say just a little dirty, don't y'all? I'll take the wire brush and wheel and clean it off, and should clear up our issue. So let me do that. We'll give it another shot. I know the light doesn't indicate it, but I did clean it off. It's much better now. Let's give it another shot. Alright, so there's number 3. Needs to run a little bit longer. But I'm going to change out the black tar in it first. And sharpen it. Sharpen the blade. Give it a good wash. And then I'll line up all 3 of them, or run all 3 of them, and do a final look of my cheap trades that will leave very quickly. Alrighty, y'all, I wanted to finish this video before it got too dark. We could call these the 3 amigos, or the 3 stooges, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to call them. They're like the exact same thing, except in 3 different sets of clothes, so to speak. Again, pull ropes for these 2. Blade sharpen, oil change, just the pull rope, and some fresh gas in that one. And we have a new air filter, fresh gas, new diaphragm, blade sharpen on this one. So, I mean, they're all warm. They should start them up right before I did this. So let's see the rally. The Murray. With the manual shut off. And finally, the Bolins. So there you go. 3 cheap push mowers. And really, they only took about 2 hours to fix all 3 of them. Again, I have like maybe $30 in the, let's see, 10. I knocked off 20. So you can say I got like 40 to 45 in them. This isn't a money maker for me too much, but I got like 45 in all 3 mowers. I'll probably list that one for 60 because it's pretty nice still. Really hasn't been used very much. 40 and 50 because this one's missing like the whole stuff in the back and things like that. So again, 3 cheap mowers. In the prime of mowing season, I'll list these tomorrow, and they honestly will probably leave tomorrow or within 24 hours, especially with the way that the season has been going. as of filming, or as of time of taping here. So I appreciate y'all watching as always. I got more projects coming up on the channel. As you can see, I've previewed them months ago. I'm just months ahead in my videos and want to make sure that I give y'all content year round. So I got all of these goodies coming up. All of these goodies. And I guess I got all of these goodies over here coming up with whatever I can do with them, you know. So I appreciate y'all watching. If you like videos like this, if you like this threefer, you like watching people fix up mowers and sell them and stuff, you can contact me at Ellis, or you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers 09. Thank y'all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next fix.